And at SearchTides, we have a saying that, didn't realize that it was gonna like really rub people the wrong way, but we believe that the cost of creating good content is going to go to $0. That doesn't mean that all content is going to cost $0. That doesn't mean that all good content is going to be AI written. It just means, on average, there's going to be a button that people can press in the future to create a good piece of content with the click of a button. And for anybody who's maybe less certain about that, we are on ChatGPT version 4.0 today. What does this look like when we're at 10.0? Pretty different. And so the big question is, well, how are search engines going to adapt? And the big question, the big answer to that is understanding how they learn in general. So GPT models, algorithms, they're all the same thing. It's a search engine algorithm. How do GPT models learn specifically? Number one, there's data digestion. So the person who owns the model or the people that own the model, they go, hey, good news, we're Google. We just paid Reddit a bunch of money, and now we have access to their entire database. Here you go. Scan it and index it internally. Number two, which is what we're looking at over here on the right side, a GPT model searches to learn. Now, a GPT model would tell you it doesn't learn. A clever trick. But when it needs to, quote, find out information, it goes and looks on the internet for it. And here we can see I'm asking ChatGPT some restaurant recommendations. It's giving me them, and then I prod further and say, well, how did you get this? And they said, well, I looked, this website, The Secret. And I said, how'd you get to that website? And they were like, okay, fine, I browse the internet. And it's literally the GPT models using the search engines because that is the greatest index of information on the internet, to determine what the response should be. The third component is responding to user feedback. So if you below this, I basically said your recommendations are not good because Mission Chinese needs to be on this list because it's one of the best Chinese restaurants. That was a terrible recommendation. Please take that into consideration in the future. And if enough people were interacting with this, being like, hey, Mission Chinese is where it's at, then ChatGPT would maybe need to adjust how it thought about where it collected data from. So these are the three ways that a GPT model learns. But in terms of, how does it determine what's important? It's ultimately going to be very similar to exactly what a search engine algorithm does today, which is I need to find endorsements from one website to another, which is literally links. I need to find websites mentioning other websites, endorsing them. And then also, I need to be hearing about things that's not on your website. And that's what syndicated content looks like, which is also another strategy within link building.